up on Fulton today.
County commissioners meet with Fulton School Board for a first of its meeting. I'm Priscilla Ortega, and I'll have the story in our legislative update.
And we'll tell you what government and business leaders are saying about economic development in the South Metro region. Fulton Today starts right now. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis. 2015 is already proving to be a year of firsts for Fulton County, and now comes another. Commissioners informally meet with members of the Fulton County School Board. It is the first time both governmental bodies have gathered for this kind of discussion. FGTV's Priscilla Ortega joins us now with this story and the rest of our legislative update. Priscilla?
Shania, this was indeed a welcome meeting by both the Fulton County Commissioners and school board members. While the legislative team introduced themselves to the school board, it was the fellowship between the elected and appointed officials that garnered the most communication.
We are creating programs.
It was a meeting that all who attended said was long overdue, and a meeting that all present said was worth attending.
Communication is very important. You can't achieve any success if you don't talk to each other. So I think today was a great first step with our new bodies in doing just that. And I'm very encouraged about the future conversations that we're going to have.
The county's legislative liaison arranged the gathering for the Fulton school officials, the county's lobbying team, and the Board of Commissioners. The working luncheon at a law firm in Atlantic Station was planned for the leaders to discuss shared priorities and areas of mutual interest.
Great dialogue, great conversation. The superintendent, Bob Avosa, gave a wonderful presentation in terms of the progress that's being made, and we identified some of the gaps in terms of how we can work collaboratively to deal with truancy, high school dropout prevention, gang violence, mental health issues in the school system. So it was a great meeting, and I look forward to a wonderful year of collaboration with the school system.
We're tied together. The better the school system does, the better the county can do in attracting top businesses, top talent to these businesses, providing a great way of life for our community members.
Though the lobbying team members made introductions at the luncheon, they did not give a formal overview of this year's legislative agenda.
To monitor legislation and working with our county departments.
However, liaison Jessica Corbett Dominguez did present the latest news from the Capitol during the board's official recess meeting.
The health fee inspection item, which was one of the priority areas, we have looked at occupational tax collection or business licenses is one of the similar areas, and we have found that we have frankly a similar challenge from our discussion with finance. We also don't have an easy mechanism for collection and those kinds of fees as well.
With the session ending in about 4 weeks, county commissioners are paying really close attention to the items on their legislative agenda. While they're hoping there is some action taken on their legislative items, they fully expect not all of them will be addressed. Now, to see the full legislative update, you can watch the rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV all this week at 6 p.m. Reporting at the state capitol, I'm Priscilla Ortega for FGTV.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. Meanwhile, business and elected officials exchange ideas on the future of the South Metro area. It's all about the South was the theme of this year's South Metro Development Outlook Conference in College Park. Hundreds of people packed the Georgia International Convention Center for the 13th annual conference. Some of the topics covered included the growing film industry, the redevelopment of Fort McPherson, transportation, and new projects planned for the Atlanta airport.
It's like people have discovered South Metro now, and it's wonderful, but it's due to works of people like Michael Hightower, who's worked with all the governments down here.
The brainchild of Fulton County Commissioner Michael Hightower, the South Metro Development Outlook focuses on economic growth in the city of Atlanta, along with Clayton, Coweta, Douglas, Fayette, Henry, Spalding, and South Fulton counties.
And it makes sense to be close to the airport. it makes sense to make deals that are cost conscious. It makes sense to make deals that are meaningful to the community, and that's what this is all about.
Elected officials from Fulton County took part in the presentation, as did I as the official luncheon MC. After giving online shoppers tips about safe transaction locations, police again urged Fulton County residents to use Fulton police precincts. Now, this offer comes after more cases of robberies and murders involving Craigslist business. Here now to talk to us more about this is Detective Melissa Parker. Ma'am, welcome back to Fulton today.
Thank you.
Well, Detective, we have talked about this before, but let's again reiterate. Talk to everybody about the risk of meeting an unknown buyer or seller.
Well, just because you are looking to purchase an item or you're selling an item doesn't mean that the person that's going to contact you on the other end is safe or someone even interested in the product that you're buying or selling. They could just be a predator looking for someone to rob or worse.
And what types of questions should people be asking when they're trying to conduct this business? What kind of tips do you have?
For instance, if there's a vehicle you're buying or selling, you'd want to exchange original paperwork, original documentation. If you're looking to purchase a car and you've located a seller, ask for a Carfax report or paperwork, ask them to scan in paperwork showing a VIN or your make and model or photographs of them with their vehicle. Those might just be additional safety nets that you could retrieve from them. If they're not willing to send you a photograph of them and their vehicle or a Carfax report that you could verify, then that might be a red flag.
And talk about the clear benefits of using a police precinct to conduct the business.
Absolutely. First of all, I would say never meet someone at night after dark if you can keep from doing that. Secondly, you would want to pick a very safe location. I can't think of a safer location than at a police precinct. If you offer them to meet you at a police precinct, just outside, even in a parking lot, and they refuse or they're hesitant to it, that would be a red flag.
And Detective, your final thoughts on this issue?
Just remember that you don't know these people. Just because you've contacted them or they've contacted you, they could be a predator. Even if you're the one contacting them, a lot of times people will put something fictitious on the internet to sell in the hopes of possibly robbing the person. When you arrive, they could rob you of the money that you're bringing for the transaction.
All right, Fulton County Police Detective Melissa Parker, always great information. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Now, the police locations to use are 5616 Old National Highway in College Park, 4121 Cascade Road in Atlanta, and 4701 Fulton Industrial Boulevard. If you have any questions about the locations, you can contact the police department at 404-613-5700. Volunteers want to help Fulton residents to make tax time less taxing. County senior facilities have teamed up with AARP for free help with income tax preparations. Seniors at the Bowden Multipurpose Facility recently benefited from the appointment-only service.
Well, I'm a member of the center, and I find it easier to do my taxes here than in the place here.
Tax preparers say you should bring all necessary identification and documents like last year's tax return, your W-2 form, and Social Security benefits verification. However, there are some returns that these tax aides do not file.
The clients that have rental income or a business return, we recommend that they go to a paid preparer.
Atlanta Fulton County Libraries are also offering tax assistance at selected sites from now until April 15th. Times and dates vary at each location, so check ahead. Though the official love holiday has come and gone, the spirit of Valentine's Day continues. County Animal Services is still offering a special deal as a part of the My Furry Valentine promotion. They've lowered the adoption rate during the entire month of February. Now, you can get a dog or cat at least 6 months old for only $14 in honor of February 14th.
Well, when someone comes in and they want to adopt an animal, they may have a great deal of knowledge about owning and responsible pet ownership, and it may be the first pet they've ever had. So we have full-time adoption counselors that can sit down with each individual family or individual and speak with them and answer their questions they may have about heartworm prevention, about puppy training, about care of new kittens or cats. And adopting a pet is a lifetime commitment, so we try to give people the knowledge, if they don't already have it, as to it being a lifetime commitment and what all is involved with owning a pet for that pet's life.
Now, you not only get a new furry friend, but you're also saving a life.
Oh, I think it's very important because we have, in fact, right now we have almost 300 cats and dogs at our facility, and we get about 25 animals in every single day, 7 days a week. And we are trying to get them out through adoptions or rescue or hopefully returning them to their owner. And when we run adoption specials like this, it might cause a person who may otherwise not want to come to our facility, give us a chance. Come down. We've got great cats and dogs that need good homes.
If you aren't able to get a pet right now, there are a number of volunteer programs you may want to check out instead.
We have a very strong volunteer program here and a foster program. For a family who maybe has enough animals already or they're not quite ready to adopt, they can come in and they can do our program called Dog for a Day, where you can come check a dog out like a library book, and they put a little adoption vest on them. You can take them to the park. They're fully vetted, and you can give that shelter animal a chance to get out of the shelter and to spend some time with a family.
Now, if you want more information about the adoptions, the volunteer opportunities, or just look at the pictures of some of the adoptable pets, you can visit the website at fultonanimalservices.com or give them a call at 404-613-0358. And still to come, seniors help others get affordable health care just in the nick of time. We'll tell you that story in our district-by-district coverage next. Fulton commissioners assist with the last big push to get people health coverage and also encourage better county civic partnerships. Here's this week's district-by-district coverage. We begin with Chairman John Eves and the recent annual Buckhead Coalition meeting. The at-large commissioner greeted the group of longtime civic, government, and business leaders on behalf of Fulton County government. Atlanta City Council President Cesar Mitchell also brought greetings on behalf of the city. Chairman Eves spoke on the importance of collaboration between county leaders and the Buckhead Coalition.
Well, Buckhead Coalition has done a great job, not only civically in terms of what they do commercially, in terms of a vibrant business community, but they've been a strong support of Fulton County government.
The Buckhead Coalition is a nonprofit organization of business executives founded by former Atlanta Mayor Sam Massell. District 4 Commissioner Joan Garner joined seniors at the Helene S. Mills facility as they help others to get health coverage. Enroll America stopped by the facility to host a volunteer phone bank to raise awareness about the deadline to apply for health coverage under the Affordable Care Act.
I am very happy to welcome Enroll America here to conduct a phone bank, reaching out to the constituents of District 4, actually educating them and informing them of how to get enrolled in terms of health care.
The deadline to enroll in the Affordable Care Act marketplace for coverage this year was February 15th. The District 5 Commissioner launches a new program on FGTV. Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. taped his first show called District Dialogues. The commissioner wants to use the program to best communicate what is happening in his district.
Well, I think it's important to highlight people from the community, to share the information with people through television and through as many different mediums as possible. Obviously, television is the easiest and one of the largest ways to get the message out. And we want people to know about the services that Fulton County has to offer, and we want to make sure that the people know about the good things that are going on in their communities.
District Dialogues airs all this week on FGTV. And finally, in District 6, residents in Hateville wrap up Black History Month with a final special movie showing. All February long, Patrons at the Hapeville Branch Library have watched films with a particular African American theme.
It just reminds us of our history and things that people don't talk about. You get to see it and reminisce on what it was back in those days and how far we've gone, how far we've came since that time.
The films we watched today, they were 1930s films, and you know, the one film where with Bessie Smith, and then another one with Sammy Davis Jr. And you can see the elements of the characters of these individuals at that point in time. Like Sammy was, I think, like 7, and he was himself, and you could see it.
The movie series at the Hapeville Branch Library was one of the many special events and programs planned for Black History Month in county venues. Now you can catch more of your Commissioners at Work all this week with the rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV. And when we come back, protecting your child from household poisons. Stay with us. Many times, prescription pain relievers can be misused or fall into the wrong hands. Well, medical professionals say there are certain precautions that you can take to protect yourself and others. Dr. Patrice Harris is the director of the Department of Health and Wellness. Ma'am, welcome back to Fulton today.
Well, thanks for having me.
So, doctor, I understand we're talking about opioids. Explain to everybody what they are and what happens when they are misused.
Well, prescription opioids include morphine, hydrocodone, oxycodone, and methadone. These are prescription drugs that are prescribed by your physician. They are used to treat moderate to severe pain. Now, heroin is also an opioid in that class of drugs, but of course, heroin is illegal and not a prescription medication.
And what should patients know about properly taking these medications?
Well, these medications are effective when used appropriately, so folks should take these medications exactly as prescribed by their physicians, and they should also take them for the minimum amount of time. It's important not to stockpile these medications, and it's important not to share these medications with anyone else.
And Doc, let's switch gears a little bit now and talk about safely storing these medications.
Safe storage of these medications is critically important. 70% of drug abusers say that they were able to get these medications for the first time from family and friends. So it's very important that these medications be safely stored and secured. Sometimes you may even have to lock away these medications to ensure that youngsters, teenagers, even other adults don't get these medications.
And what should patients do with those unused prescriptions?
Well, if at any time someone did not use all of their prescriptions, it's important to know how to safely dispose of these medications. The best resource is the FDA website. That's the Food and Drug Administration website, because they really talk about the best ways to discard these medications. Patients should look for medication or drug take-back days. These are usually run by local law enforcement, and that's a time for everyone to come in and just bring their pills. Another way to safely discard the medications is to put them in a bag of kitty litter. And don't crush the pills, but simply put the pills whole in a bag of kitty litter and dispose of them in the trash. There are a few medications where it's okay and safe to flush, but again, the best resource to figure this out is the FDA's website.
And Dr. Harris, your final thoughts on this topic?
This is a critically important topic as prescription drug abuse has hit epidemic proportions. And so it's important that we raise the level of awareness about this and ensure that folks know that it's important to take these medications as prescribed and to safely secure them and store them and dispose of them.
Dr. Patrice Harris, thank you so much for your time. Always great information.
Thanks for having me.
Well, your home can also be a dangerous place, especially for children, if you do not take precautions. That's the lesson expectant mothers at the Pregnancy Aid Clinic learned during a poison prevention event. A health outreach worker from Safe Kids Fulton showed the group how cleaning supplies like Windex or Pine Sol can look just like apple juice or Gatorade, and children could easily mistake some medication as candy.
Well, I really just want them to be aware and it to be on their minds. That's why it's important for us to come here at the clinic in the stages of pregnancy, and a lot of them are first-time moms. And like today, a lot of them say, oh, I never thought of that.
Purses can also contain items harmful for children, including makeup. If a child swallows dangerous items, call the Georgia Poison Center immediately. If they inhale chemical, get them fresh air first before calling. And if on the skin, remove contaminated clothing, rinse their skin, and then call for help. That number is 1-800-222-1222. As we wrap up National Heart Month, health coaches are sharing some easy changes that you can make to your diet. During a lunch and learn event sponsored by Blue Cross Blue Shield, county employees got a lesson in eating healthy. The group incorporated spinach and almond milk into fruit smoothies. Health coaches recommend starting with a half cup of green vegetables into smoothies and working your way up to more greens.
These foods are your medicine, so it's going to benefit you in terms of keeping your heart healthy, keeping your inflammation down, keeping you in a cancer-fighting mode, keeping you from developing any sort of Alzheimer's, dementia, a whole gamut of different illnesses, chronic illnesses that we face. It's all at our fingertips. It's all at the grocery store. It's in your pantry.
I learned that you can use different oils to cook your food in and it'd be a little less fat. I learned that putting in different seasonings instead of salt is much better for you. And it was good. I learned how to make the smoothies, which I drink anyway, but she added different things to her smoothie that I haven't tried. And now I'm gonna try that in my smoothie.
And eating healthy can be quick as well. The salmon, brown rice, and spinach lunch only took about 20 minutes to cook. The county hosts wellness events each month in order to keep the workforce healthy so that health insurance costs are low and more funds can be allocated for county services. And still to come, a wrap-up of Black History programs around the county. Stay with us. Well, seniors wrapped up Black History Month with a lively celebration. Singing, music, and dancing helped those at the Mills Senior Center remember the accomplishments African Americans have made in the equal rights movement.
Too often we put the emphasis on those who led, the Dr. Kings and others, but let me tell you, Dr. King's movement would not have been successful had it not been for the seniors sitting in this very room. And so it's good to just be reminded how far we've come, and these are the change agents who made that happen.
It's not just Black history, it's our history, it's American history. So, you know, not to make people think that it's all about Black people, because there were white people as well that were fighting for freedom and equality for Blacks as well. So it was a group effort, and we managed to be able to get to the point where we are today, but we still have a lot of work to do.
For more information on events at the senior centers, you can call the Star Line at 404-613-6000. And finally, a retired arts professor showcases her applique work. Kay Joy Ballard Peters is an applique artist who composes intricate designs in her applique work. Her latest work is at the Southwest Art Center.
When you use material, you can create all different kinds of images, and I can combine them with clay or with pins or with yarn and create new images. And maybe they'll see some of the illusions that I created, and it will remind them something of one of their experiences.
In addition to showcasing her newest pieces, the artist will hold some workshops and demonstrations so the public can learn her techniques. This event is free and open to the public until March 13th. For information on days and times of the workshops, you can call the Southwest Arts Center at 404-613-3220. And before we go, we want to connect with you online. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter, or of course, you can also check us out online on the county's website or our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis. Thank you for joining us. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.